Velocity. So what is velocity? The time rate of change of displacement of a particle is called velocity. Simply we can say displacement per time taken is nothing but velocity, or v bar is equal to s bar by t, where s bar represents displacement, t represents time, and v bar represents velocity. It is a vector way of representing. Note, velocity is a vector quantity, means it has both magnitude as well as direction. The direction of velocity is the same as the direction of displacement of the body. So in which direction the displacement is present, in that particular direction velocity is present. Velocity can be either positive, zero, or negative. Velocity can be changed in two ways: by changing the speed of the body, or by keeping the speed constant but by changing the direction, because it has both magnitude as well as direction. Now, by changing both speed as well as direction, we can change velocity also. So that is a third technique. Velocity is measured in centimeter per second, that is for CGS unit, meter per second, which is the SI system, and kilometer per hour, which is a practical unit. Practical means which we are going to use in our day-to-day life, but it is not belong to SI system. So what is the conversion factor between kilometer per hour and meter per second? So 1 meter per second is equal to 18 by 5 kilometer per hour, or simply we can say 1 kilometer per hour equal to 5 by 18 meter per second. So whenever you are going to convert kilometer per hour to meter per second, we have to use this conversion factor. Uniform velocity. A particle or a body is said to be moving with uniform velocity if it covers equal displacements in equal intervals of time, however small these intervals may be. So simply uniform means the same. If the velocity of the body remains the same throughout the time interval, then the body is moving with uniform velocity, or simply we can say equal displacements in equal intervals of time. Then the body is said to be moving with uniform velocity. Variable velocity. Variable means which is not constant. So a particle or a body is said to be moving with variable velocity if its speed or its direction or both changes with time. So both speed as well as direction or both changes with respect to time, then we can say the velocity is varying. Average velocity. When a body moves with variable velocity, the average velocity of the body is the ratio of total or net displacement covered by it to the total time taken. Always remember, average means total or net or resultant. So total displacement by total time taken is nothing but average velocity. That is a formula. Simply we can represent V average bar is equal to S total bar by T total. That is time total. For a body moving with uniform acceleration, so uniform acceleration actually here, that means the acceleration will remain constant. So V bar equal to U bar plus V bar by 2. So whenever the body is going to move with uniform acceleration, if there are two velocities are there, if you want to find the average velocity of those, then you can simply take the mean of the velocities. Average velocity is also defined as the change in position or displacement divided by the time interval in which the displacement occurs. So V average is equal to x2 minus x1 by t2 minus t1, which is nothing but change in position by change in time. Or V average equal to delta x by delta t. Delta x represents change in position, nothing but total displacement. Delta t represents the time interval, the time gap, or total time. Note, no effort or force is required to move the body with uniform velocity. That means whenever a body is moving with uniform velocity, the resultant force acting on the body is equal to 0. If a particle undergoes a displacement s1 along a straight line in time t1 and a displacement s2 in time t2 in the same direction, then V average is equal to S1 plus S2 by T1 plus T2. That is total displacement by total time. If a particle undergoes a displacement S1 along a straight line with velocity V1 and a displacement S2 with velocity V2 in the same direction, that means some displacement the body covered with velocity V1 and some displacement the body covered with velocity V2. Then how to find the average velocity? So the average velocity is equal to S1 plus S2 into V1 V2 by S1 V2 plus S2 V1. Remember that in the above formula, the time T1 is replaced by the expression S1 by V1 because V is nothing but S by T. So T is nothing but S by V. So T1 means S1 by V1 and T2 means S2 by V2. If you substitute the values of T1 and T2 in this formula and calculate, you will get this expression S1 plus S2 into V1 V2 by S1 V2 plus S2 V1. If a particle travels first half of the displacement along a straight line with velocity V1 and the next half of the displacement with the velocity V2 in the same direction, that means there is some total displacement. In that total displacement, we are going to divide that into two parts. In the first half, V1 is the velocity. In the second half, V2 is the velocity. Then, what is the average velocity? It is nothing but 2V1 V2 by V1 plus V2. Because in the above expression only, if you take both the displacements as same, that is here also S, here also S, you are going to keep, then you are going to get this expression. V average is equal to 2V1 V2 by V1 plus V2. So one by one cases we are going to do. So in the case B, put S1 equal to S2. If a particle travels from a time t1 with velocity v1 and for a time t2 with velocity v2 in the same direction, then now here we don't have displacement. Instead of displacement, what we have? Only time and velocity. In the first time interval t1, it is moving with v1 velocity. In the second time interval t2, it is moving with v2 velocity. Then they are asking what is the average velocity. So v average equal to v1 t2 plus v2 t2 by t1 plus t2. In the first expression, in place of s1, what we have to substitute? v1 t1 we have to substitute because v equal to s by t, so s equal to vt. So s1 is nothing but v1 t1 and s2 is nothing but what? v2 t2. If a particle travels first half of the time with velocity v1 and the next half of the time with velocity v2 in the same direction, then now here both the time intervals are same. That means t1 is equal to t2. Now in place of t1 as well as t2, if you keep only t, then you're going to have the expression as v average equal to v1 plus v2 by 2. So in the numerical, based on the question, you have to use the particular formula. So whether they are given variable displacement or whether they are given same displacement, whether they are given variable time or they have given same time. So please be careful while using the formula. But the basic formula is V average is equal to total displacement by total time. Average velocity. Now I am going to represent the position time graph for average velocity. Position time graph. That is a representation of average velocity because average means total displacement by total time taken. So here we are representing with respect to position and time. That is point P1 where the position is x1 and the time is t1. That is point P2 where the position is x2 and time is t2. Now that is the resultant displacement or the change in position. So how you are going to get the change in position? x2 minus x1 by t2 minus t1. So the slope of p1, p2 gives average velocity, because position by time, generally displacement by time is nothing but what? Velocity around. So here if you are able to find the slope, what is slope? Y coordinate by x coordinate. What is y coordinate? x2 minus x1 is the y coordinate. t2 minus t1 is the x coordinate. So slope is nothing but what? Y by x. So simply to represent average velocity. Now uniform velocity. How can I represent uniform velocity? Uniform means same. So we are going to represent the uniform velocity in position time graph. What do you mean by uniform velocity? Equal displacements in equal intervals of time. So you're going to have a straight line parallel to x-axis we are taking. Now here whenever you're going to take line parallel to x-axis, what does this represent? The position of the body will remain constant as the time passes. So will there be any velocity here? That is represents stationary object. Whenever the object is stationary, what is the velocity? Zero velocity actually. Second one, position time graph. That is a straight line. So which is linear. That means equal displacements in equal intervals of time. Then you are going to represent with a straight line, which represents uniform velocity. That is positive velocity actually here. Uniform positive velocity. The position time graph, which we are going to take, again representing uniform velocity. Now here you can see the displacement is decreasing. So xt graph for an object with negative velocity. Now here this is positive velocity, negative velocity. All three are representing uniform velocity, but for different conditions. What is the first condition here? For a stationary object. So whenever you want to represent a stationary object, the position time graph will be a line drawn parallel to x-axis. For an object moving with positive velocity, you are going to represent the position time graph with a straight line passing through the horizon in between position time. Now if the body is moving with a negative velocity and if you want to represent the position time, then you have to take the slope in this way. Differences between speed and velocity. So speed is a time rate of change of distance of a body, whereas velocity is nothing but displacement, change of displacement. Speed tells nothing about the direction of motion of the body. That means we don't determine the direction. But velocity determines the direction of motion of the body. Speed is a scalar, where velocity is a vector. Speed of the body can be positive or zero. Velocity of the body can be positive, zero or negative also. Average speed of a moving body can never be zero. Average speed will never be zero. But average velocity of a moving body can be zero because displacement can become zero. Instantaneous velocity. When a body is moving with variable velocity, the velocity of the body at any instant is called instantaneous velocity. Instantaneous means at that particular point. Throughout the journey, at which point I am going to determine the velocity, at that particular point you have to say the velocity. That is called instantaneous. The velocity at an instant is defined as the limit of the average velocity as the time interval delta t becomes infinitesimally small. That means suppose there is a large interval for you. Whenever you have a large interval, that large interval should tend to 0 and become just like a small point. That's the reason we are saying limit. That means we are limiting here. Limiting means what? A large interval was there, but you are going to consider only a small point in that large interval. That means the entire value is tending to 0 now, but not exactly 0. That is called limit delta t tends to 0, but not exactly 0. On a large interval, you are taking a very small point. So delta x by delta t is nothing but dx by dt. It is nothing but differentiation. D bar equal to dx by dt. I already mentioned differentiation is nothing but what? Large to small. So for instantaneous, see as, suppose we want to calculate the instantaneous velocity at a point P at an instant. That is a point P. And that is a time. And there is another point P1 whose position is x1 t1, and there is another point P2 whose position is x2 and time is t2. That is a displacement. So x2 minus x1 gives the displacement and t2 minus t1 will represent the time. Now the slope of P1, P2 at t1 and t2 with intervals of delta t from t, that is t1 equal to t minus delta, t2 is nothing but t plus delta t, we will say. Gives the average velocity at that particular point. Now I am taking another point P3 whose position is x3 and t3. Another point P4 whose position is x4 and t4. Now you can see how I am going to limit the interval from P1, P2 to P3, P4, reducing the interval. The slope P3, P4 at T3 and T4 with the interval of delta t by 2 from t. That is T3 is equal to t minus delta t by 2 and T4 is equal to t plus delta t by 4. Gives the average velocity at P, which is the closure value to the instantaneous velocity. Now here also we are going to calculate average, but I am going to limit the interval still further. Proceeding this way, delta t may be gradually reduced to approach to 0. That is, the interval delta t is tending to 0 and I am going to focus only at point t, which gives the instantaneous velocity. This is how we are going to explain the limit delta t tends to 0. Delta x by delta t is nothing but dx by dt. Though average speed over a finite interval of a time is greater than or equal to the magnitude of the average velocity, instantaneous speed at an instant is equal to the magnitude of the instantaneous velocity at that instant. Why? Think about it.